Okay, students, welcome back. So, very glad to see you all and very happy to see you all as well. So, we have now almost come nearing to the end of the lectures. The lecture series are coming to an end. So, would like to, wrap up the things. And of course, next week, that you have to submit and do the group presentations as well, isn't it? What are the deadlines? Hmm? What are the deadlines?
So individual 25th.
Hmm. Into the 25th, and how about the other one? So in fact, I'm going to go to your LMS and we are going to see that. Right. So let me share the screen with you so you can see. What would that? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Excellent, Buddha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, so you can see here, you can see the individual assignment is on Friday the 25th of April, right? And the group assignment has to be submitted, right, on 2nd May. And the percentage will be taken on 3rd May. So these are the arrangements that we discussed. So please keep in mind. So we'll be taking up few lectures meantime, right? Okay, so just reminding you that you know what you need to do under the individual assignment and group assignment. So under the individual assignment, what you are required to do is to do a market situation analysis. Under the group assignment, what has been allocated, right? You have to select a company that has been allocated among your group and extend it to a group one and come up with a fully fledged digital business strategy. So that's what the assignments were. And students, you have to, number one, you have to do the allocated companies. I found out now in past some of the assignments in some other batches, the students had done some unallocated companies. They had done what they wanted. So I drastically reduced the marks, right? I'm checking. So I was not checking that, but later on I understood some students are kind of engaged in fraudulent activities. Fraud. And then for the group one also, they did something what they like. So I had to drastically reduce marks for that. So therefore, students, now the group allocations are given here. Group company allocation, new, please ignore. And that we understood that there were some duplicates. So we remove that and see what's allocated to you. Hmm? So here clearly the allocations are given. So I'm going to check with this. Right? If I see your individual assignments are done based on something else, then I have to drastically reduce marks. So I need to a little bit tell about that as well because I saw some culprits who had done that. Culprits. The next thing is some students, they have not taken something from their groups. So that's also was an issue. So students, please kindly refrain from doing those kind of things. Right? Please kindly refrain from doing such kind of things because it will be wrong. It's not correct to do that kind of things. Right. Also, I would like to get the group details, right? For not today, of course. For the today, we are not going to have any assessments indeed, because it's online, complete online. So, and I know today might be considered as a holiday for some people, and they might not be accessible. Therefore, we all are joining online. So therefore, we'll, but who knows, no? Suddenly, who knows whether an assessment would appear from nowhere, right? But again, I would like to know the groups. So therefore, we already have a group formation list. These for your final group assignment, huh? Not for anything today. So not random groups. I would like to have your group information. So let me, now you know that you have a group formation link over here. Yes, the group formation link is there. Group formation link. So let's open that. So go to this link, group formation link, and please tell who are your group members. Right, just select the group members. This you just give the group number that already is allocated to you. Maybe group 1, group 2, and please select your group members. Right, and submit. So then I will know who are your group members. These for the final, not for today, right? Today, don't worry at all. Today I'm not going to group anyone. These for your group information, for your final group, because I need that listing. So then afterwards, I will know who are the groups, isn't it? So let me. So please fill this information. So I will create the group for you. This for your final one, right? This is your final group presentations for your, not for today. Today, we please don't, I'm not going to form any groups. So please fill that information. Each group, one person fills that, that's enough. Each group, please, one person fill it. Then I'll get that information so I can form the groups. So these some old information. So today I'll wait for your information and create the groups. Not for today, but these for your final presentation. These older ones, these are not required. I'm going to hide them. So please give your group number. Or if you cannot remember the group number, don't worry. Just better if you can give the group number. We should have got a group number now. So put your group number and fill in the information. Tell who are the group members for your final group work. So one member, please fill it. In each group, there's one member. Now, please fill it. And please use this link for that purpose. So let me share the link with you. It's there in the LMS, but again, I'll share that in this particular. Right. So I put this into this Zoom meeting as well. So you can fill it. Yeah, I can put it because somehow, although I am the lecturer, I am not being given access. So you can go and access this link through the LMS. The LMS is there. So please do access that link. So you'll be able to register your groups. So please do it. So you can go to your LMS and then you can click on the class group formation link. So then I'll be able to see what are your groups. Right? So far I have got no one. So if you are not going to register, then maybe I'll have to ignore your group and take the groups who register, isn't it? One member from one group is more than enough. Right? One member from one group, please fill the information. You have to put all the group members for the group work, of course, but one member can fill the group work. Just select the members from that list and submit. Right? Okay, is that clear? Mechanic path. If a group paper. No, any group had filled the group information. Right. Please do that and please try to do it by within 1 hour time. So we'll get the group information duly and I'll be able to create the groups. Is to create your final groups for the third presentations. Right? So that's about this grouping information and information on that. Okay, so let's now today discuss today's part and then we'll be continue to discuss as well. Okay, so tell me what we discussed last time. What did we discuss? Someone put a WhatsApp group or whatever the group that you have to fill in the group information. And you can put even this link to the form. Right? If you can put that, then people will know and will fill it. Even if you're not in the class, you can fill that. So one member from one group needs to be filled that, not all. If two members fill that, it will be duplicated. Therefore, one member, please try to fill the information. Okay. Now tell me, what did we discuss last time? What did we discuss?
Digital business strategy.
Okay. Yes. Digital business strategy. Under that, what did we discuss, Putta? Okay. There's one group who has filled it. Thank you. Goods group. Goods group has filled that information. So thank you. So make sure that this is the final grouping, right? The final group list. Right. Yeah, but in digital business strategy, what did we discuss? We discussed about strategies, isn't it? Right. We discussed strategies. So let me take up the slideshow. So I stopped sharing. And let me open the slideshow. Yeah. So we started discussing this one. Even I think we discussed about SOSTEC framework. So we started with chapter 5 additional, isn't it? Yeah. So let me share the screen. Okay, I think we completed discussing this chapter 5. Isn't it? Chapter 5 additional, 5 and 2, we discussed, right? Okay, we can see that here. This recording is also there. That's a great chance. You can see what we have discussed. So this is what we discussed. So evidence is there. Then you mark the attendance. And I even gave you a SOSTEC analysis framework. So this is where we divided the companies among yourself. And then a student helped me by saying that they are duplicates. And we gave a break around 145. All things are there, isn't it? But this was the break. That's why it's showing this. URL, that's what we discussed. And in fact, we had not fully explored about digital business strategy. I have just introduced you there. So we were discussing digital business infrastructure, in fact. And then I went out of the way and I was explaining. And then I took attendance. Okay, then I introduced the what you need to do. So actually, that's what happened. Okay. That's the whole episode of things that happened. So in fact, therefore, let's go back to digital business strategy. And where what we discussed is this digital business infrastructure. So we discussed cookies. We discussed viral marketing and malware marketing. And did we discuss about localization? Localization kata කරාද? Did we discuss about localization? Can a student please confirm? Localization. Localization kata කරාද නේ?
Nisal.
I think one student's mic got unmuted. Okay, let's see the progress of progress එක බලමු. How many groups have filled? Okay, 4 groups have filled it. Good. Fruits group, group number 5, group number 8, and shine group. That's group number 3. So please, this is not for today. This is for your final group information. Right? Okay. Okay, so let me then talk about localization. I sense I discussed this, but again, right? We'll discuss it again. A little bit, I'll remind you in case if we discuss, no one is answering, that's the problem. Okay, right. So we'll discuss about localization or remind ourselves what's localization if I had already discussed. So what is localization? So now when it comes to a website, there are 5 levels that we can localize. We can localize it to the local context. What are the 5 levels? Level 1 is standardized websites. In fact, there's no localization there. So it's a single website that serves all customers. There's no any localization. Domestic as well as international customers can see only one website. There's no localization. Then there is semi-localized websites. Now here you get a single site serving different customers, but foreign subsidiary contact information is there. So if a customer wants to, if a Sri Lankan customer wants to get information about a Sri Lankan subsidiary, if it is available, that information is there in the main website. And that's the only localization that's there, where the contact information about the foreign subsidiaries are available. Let's say it's an American company, so it has Sri Lankan subsidiary contact information. That's the only localization they have. That's called semi-localized websites. Then you have localized websites. 3M is a good example. There, when you go to that website, right, it will display the content in your own language. There will be language translation. There will be language translation. So 3M has adapted the website for many countries to local language versions. Right? So that's there. So for an example, if you go to that website, it will display in Sinhala language or Tamil language or Arabic language or in Japanese language or whatever other languages are there. So the translation is there. That's called localized websites. Then we have, going even beyond, highly localized websites. In highly localized websites, You get country-specific website with language translation and also include other localization efforts in terms of the local time. Now, if you go even to the foreign website, so it will display the Sri Lankan time. The customers, visiting time will be displayed there. And the local currency will be there. If you are going to do a purchase, it will display the local currency. You can do purchases in local currency, in Sri Lankan rupees. Right? Date, postcode, those kind of information will be there. That's called highly localized websites. Right? You can see that's the fourth level. The first level was standard website. There's no localization, semi-localized websites. There was this contact information about a foreign subsidiary. Localized websites, they have only language translation. Then comes highly localized websites, not only language translation, it displays the local time, date, postcode, currency formats as well. Then comes the max that you could go, culturally customized websites, where it gives an immersive experience of the target culture. Particularly, hotel chains are very popular for these culturally customized websites. Right? They will give a culturally customized websites to the visitors, right? Based on their whatever the religion, based on the location, they will give a culturally customized website. Durex.com is a good example for that. Right? It gives an immersive experience. It gives an immersive experience for the person who visits. Okay. So these are called culturally customized websites. So that's the highest level that the localization could go. Now, I want you to tell me what are the advantages and disadvantages of localization. Use ChatGPT for that. Right? So at the exams, you might, of course, get a question like, what are the advantages and disadvantages of localization? Or the same question might be asked like this. Critically evaluate the localization, meaning highly localized, right? This is localization means it's not standardized websites or semi-localized websites. It's highly localized websites, right? So what are critically evaluate? Establishing a highly localized website for your company, where the language translation is there and currency codes are localized based on the customer and date and time based on the area, the geographical area that they visit. It's being displayed based on the customer, the visit of the website. Now the question is, if it is highly localization, what are the advantages and disadvantages? Same question could be asked. Critical evaluate, right? Localization of a website. Localization here means being highly localized websites. What are the advantages and disadvantages? Go to ChatGPT and give that question. Shall we do it together? Okay, today let's do it together. Let's go to ChatGPT. Okay. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups who have filled their information. Good, thank you. How about others? Only 6 groups. We have more groups. So let me go to my web browser and go to my ChatGPT. Something else. My ChatGPT. Ready? So let's go to my ChatGPT. Okay. So you can see I'm using paid version. This will work for me because I get a lot of things done. Right? I have my GPT projects as well. I have my custom GPTs. And I do a lot of things from, not of course forging assignments. But, okay, so what are the advantages? Give the prompt like this. Advantages and disadvantages of localizing. Localizing a Sri Lankan website. Engaged in e-commerce. Okay, so likewise, be very specific when you give ChatGPT prompts. Some people, they don't give it proper, and they blame ChatGPT for not giving a proper answer. Of course, you can see these are the advantages because enhance customer trust and engagement. Indeed. Why? Because now if a Japanese comes to the Sri Lankan websites, right, the information is displayed in Japanese language. So it will automatically increase the customer trust and engagement. Right? Even that day I told you we discussed this, right? That day, even the ATMs, now when we see ATMs, even some highly educated people, they don't use English language. They use their own language, Sinhala or Tamil, when they use ATMs in withdrawing money, because they are confident that then they are comfortable with that. Right? Then improved conversion rates. Conversion rate means the people who come to the website will not always buy the products that are listed. Conversion means the people who buy, maybe 100 comes, but one doesn't buy that. So the 1% is the conversion rate. So it will increase the buying rate, the items listed in that website. Then it creates a competitive advantage. Now, let's say there's a competitor who has only in English language, but now you are going to give the customers their own language options. It will create a competitive advantage. Better SEO performance. SEO stands for search engine optimization. Because now the local queries are also there, and when you search that, right, it will list, right, in the web search, it will be listing, right? Your website will be coming on the top. And of course, in certain cases, it might be legally and regulatory required. Sri Lanka, we know the government's websites are usually in English, Sinhala and Tamil, because it's a requirement, a legal requirement. So that localization is required. And of course, improved customer support. So likewise, there are several advantages that you could derive by localizing, right, a website. But also, you have to say the other side also. What's the main disadvantage that we discussed? I could now remember. What's the main disadvantages? What's the main disadvantage? Main disadvantage? What's that? The main disadvantage is the cost. Of course, now you have to maintain, right? But you have to maintain now 3-4 versions or 5-6 versions of the same website. Because you have to have one in Tamil language, one in Sinhala language, one in Japanese language, one in Arabic language, of course, Sinhala language. So therefore, it will be costly. And of course, you have to develop the web pages. That also entails cost. And maintenance will be difficult. Because if you make an update in one website, of course, you have to do the changes in other versions, other language versions as well. So it's not easy. It takes time as well as maintenance might be difficult. Right? And what else? Sometimes it might be the case that you might be displaying culturally offensive content in your website based on the customer. Now, for an example, in Sri Lanka, it's prohibited that you can to display alcohol, right? To market alcohol, to sell alcohol online, even to promote alcohol, it's wrong. So maybe in American companies trying to reach the Sri Lankan audience by displaying content in Sinhala or Tamil language. But if they are displaying alcohol-related product, that's going to be a big problem. So likewise, there are disadvantages as well. High initial cost and resource requirement, of course, that's a main disadvantage. Complexity in management, yes, that's what I told. Now you have to maintain several versions of the website. Risk of cultural missteps. Poor localization might create that, right? So you might be displaying pork-related products to uh, the communities who don't consume pork, beef-related product for the communities who are not consuming beef. So likewise, a lot of issues might take place. And longer time to market, of course, because you have to now prepare that in that case. Then scalability concerns, you might not be able to expand or contract as you want because you have already committed yourself for localization. And there could be several technical challenges. Several technical challenges could take place because now you have to maintain several versions of the website. So these are the advantages and disadvantages. So if you get a question like this in the exam, right, then you can now, let's say the question was critically evaluate localizing a Sri Lankan e-commerce website. And critically evaluate means it doesn't mean that only you blame the things or you criticize the things. You will say the two sides, the advantages and disadvantages, but finally give a small conclusion of your own. So if you say critical evaluate, you could safely say here, based on this discussion, that uh, based on this discussion, localization has some advantages as well as disadvantages, but the advantages should be prioritized as well as should be expanded so it could address the disadvantages. Right? Of course, you have to do a cost-benefit analysis and see whether the benefits are higher than the costs. Because in anything that we do, there are advantages and disadvantages. In ChatGPT, indeed, there are advantages and disadvantages. But we have to see how to maximize the advantages and minimize the disadvantages. It doesn't mean that we should stop that or throw that away. We have to minimize the disadvantages and maximize the advantages. So likewise, I think you can make a balanced picture. And if you think that 10, 6, it gives 6 advantages and 6 disadvantages. If I don't like that, I'd say, okay, can you give me 10 advantages and 10 disadvantages? So you can ask ChatGPT, you can prompt to expand 10 advantages. Higher user experience, broader market reach, SEO, search engine optimization benefits are there, compliance, better customer support, stronger brand loyalty, competitive edge, increased mobile engagement, of course. Then high upfront cost because we have to maintain now different things. So we have to pay to develop different versions of the website. Then ongoing maintenance cost, complex project management because it's now very complex. We have several versions of the website. Longer development time, risk of poor translations. Of course, sometimes this I see, they sometimes have direct translations and it's rubbish sometimes. Then cultural misunderstandings could occur. Technical integration might be an issue. Increased testing requirement might be there. Scalability limitations might be there. Inconsistent branding. The SEO might be fragmented because of different languages. Search engine optimization. Then duplicate content risk. User confusion. Limited resources. Higher cybersecurity risk. Likewise, it has given several, in fact, 19. I think I gave 19, right? That's what it happened. 10 and 19. The prompt I gave, I think I typed 19 disadvantages. So 10 advantages and 19 disadvantages. So it has given 19 disadvantages. Some things are repeated more or less, but again, you can see nice. You can learn a lot from ChatGPT Intelligent. It's a nice learning tool, but you have to use it for that purpose. It's like fire, right? Fire could be used to cook food as well as burn your own or someone else's house. Right. Okay, so you can see these are the advantages as well as disadvantages of using what? Localization. Right. So a possible examination question. Is it clear, Buddha? Clear? And again, for the people who came a little bit late, kindly fill that this information, the group information. So I have got the group information for your final group presentation, right? So report and presentation, I'm just getting that so I can be ready with the groups. One member has to, just within the group, only one member needs to present this information. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are information on 8 groups. Do you have all 8 groups? Is the batch lead available? Who's the batch leader? I have all information. Yeah. The batch leader for this group is Nisal. And is
Yes, sir.
Isuru Pereira. Yes. Putha, how many groups are there?
In 18 exemption batch, there are 3 groups.
18A exemption batch, there are 3 groups. Okay. In the other batch?
Other batch, I think there are 8 groups.
16D එකේස 8ක් හෝ 7ක් තියෙනවා.
8ක් කියමුකෝ. 8යි අතන 3යි 10ක් තියෙනවා නේ. Thank you පුතා. Thank you.
ඔව් සර්.
10යි 1යි 2යි 3යි 4යි 5යි 6යි 7යි 8යි. තව දෙකක් ඕන. So පුරවල තියෙන මේ කට්ටිය. Now if I tell the group members, you will know who are the groups. Now in the first group you have this D Silva. And then you have Yahampat. So that's the first group. Second group, you have Sevandi and Patira, etc. Then in the third group, you have Nishan and Ranasim. That's third group members. In fourth group, Harshani and Abhinya. That's the third group. Then fourth group, Nadir and Soumya. Then Hemarachi, and then you have De Silva as the next group. Then Zaid and Ratnayaka are in the next group. Then there's another group. The members are Pereira, number 22 Pereira, then number 16 Fonseca. So I think one group tried to fill the information, group number 7. I think it's already filled, isn't it? Nadi's group, I think that's what someone I think tried to fill that. So we don't need to fill that. So we have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 8. So seems there are 2 groups that will have to fill more, right? Okay. Right. So let's go back. So please fill it, right? Okay. So I have given some information as well. Right. Now the next question is this. The next question is this, Buddha. What are the arguments for and against employers monitoring the employees' online activities? Critically evaluate. Now, let's say you are working in different organizations now. During the working hours, while you are in the organization, if your employer is trying to see what you are doing, What emails are you sending? What websites are you looking at? So that's called surveillance, monitoring your online activities during the work time, right? Within the organization during the work time, right? If they are trying to monitor you, would you like that? What are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? Again, it's critically evaluate, no? Right? Please tell me what are the advantages and disadvantages. Again, use ChatGPT, right? And generate 10 advantages and 10 disadvantages. So let's do that. Now, these are at the exam, you cannot use ChatGPT. So please take down notes. Right? Please take down notes. It will be very healthy to take down notes. So let me go back to ChatGPT. And I made a mistake earlier. Can you give 10 advantage, not 19 disadvantage? Let's say 10 disadvantage. So I need 10 advantages and plus 10 disadvantage. Hmm. 10 advantages and 10 disadvantages. So see, here are 10 advantages and 10 disadvantages. So I'd say, thank you. And can you give me a downloadable MS Word file? So I can give it to you. I can put that in the website. Advantages and disadvantages, right, of localization. Now the question is, right, critically evaluate the employers serving their employees during work time. What are the advantages and disadvantages? So yes, here the Word file is there. So 10 advantages and 10 disadvantages. Do you want this? Why not? No. At the exam, you have to list the point and elaborate. We have the point form. So I put this into the LMS. So indeed, I went through everything and it makes sense. The advantages and disadvantages. So I can go over here. And I can give it over here. So it's let's put it over here. So I'll just put it over here. So let me put it as, I don't know, a page is there, web page is there. Good. Let's see. Here's the page. So we discussed these advantages and what are the disadvantages. Okay, we have to go to plan D. It doesn't copy some reason. So what I'll do is I go over here and upload it as a file. So curious why it doesn't copy. I'll put the title as this: advantages and disadvantages. So let me attach that file for you. Okay. So it's there. So if you want, you can download 10 advantages and 10 disadvantages. Advantage, disadvantage, localization, Sri Lankan e-commerce website. So target examination question. Now, the next question that we are discussing is whether it's right, okay, or what are the advantages and disadvantages of the employer monitoring the employee of online activities. So we shall give that also. We shall also give that. We can ask, okay, what are the let me go to it. Arguments for and against. What are the arguments for and against? So there you could have also given the advantage, that means 10 arguments for, or at least 6 arguments for, and 6 arguments against. Arguments for monitoring. Of course, it will ensure productivity because once the employer monitors, the people know that they cannot use that online resources and waste their time. But sometimes when I go to some government offices, what I see is the employees are watching YouTube teledramas that was telecasted last night. They come to the organization and what they do is they watch this, teledramas and other things. So their productivity is very low. But on the other hand, if the employer is monitoring, then it will assure productivity. Data security and compliance. So basically, it will prevent data breaches because you won't be going to unnecessary websites. And there won't be intellectual property theft because sometimes I see some employees, they download illegal movies, illegal books, etc., while being right in the organization. So that creates data security and compliance issues that can be prevented if the employer monitors. And performance evaluation. Monitoring can be used to evaluate task completion, right? Email communication and responsiveness. So these things can be used as matrices to evaluate the employee. Protect against legal liability, of course. Now, in case if some employees are using torrents and as well as they are downloading illegal movies, the organization will face, because their IP address is being recorded. It's their internet that the employee is using. So the organization might be in trouble. So if the employers monitor, they could protect themselves against legal liability from others. And you can use the resources optimally. So those are the arguments for monitoring. But what are the arguments against? The main arguments again is invasion of privacy. Right? The employees' privacy is invaded by the employers, although it's the business time. sometimes the employees wouldn't want the employers monitoring. Now, I don't want my employer, University of Sri Javardhanapura or SAB, right, looking at my email. Why? I have very confidential information, yes, but I do have question papers. I set examination question papers to you for certain national exams, and I'm the moderator of certain places. So I have a lot of confidential information and it's in my emails. I don't want my employer reading my emails and monitoring, right? So it's an invasion of privacy. Before a paper is out, right, and paper is set, and before it's set, it's someone else, although the employer, right, they might have a right to see that, that's correct, maybe the register, but some other people, they have no right to see that information. Then, of course, if the employer is always monitoring the employees, it will reduce the trust and morale of the employees. They will think, okay, the employers are not believing in us. That's why they are monitoring us. Then questionable legality and ethics, whether it's ethical to watch everything that the employee does. Surveillance overload and misinterpretation. Of course, there's a level that you can monitor employees. Now, if you have 1,000 employees, how to monitor all? Chilling effect on creativity. Of course, if you are being monitored all the time, you won't be creative because sometimes creativity requires, right, a little bit of mind wandering. And if you are always being monitored, your creativity will be hampered. So the critical evaluation is that likewise you have to think of. And again, the conclusion is that you have to bring a balance, carefully balance. To what extent are you going to monitor? If you don't monitor at all, the employees will do whatever they want and they will not be productive and they will be creating a lot of unnecessary issues to the organization. But if it is monitored, you have to do it in a proper way, not to monitor everything. Right? You cannot fit cameras in bathrooms, no, to say that no, we are monitoring the employees. So there's an extent to do that. Monitoring surveillance. Right? Cost and benefit always. Okay. So expect these kind of questions at the exam. Okay, I think with that we can conclude chapter number 4. Any questions? Is it clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. Right. Let's see our information related to group formation. As another group has come, group number 4, and Ratna Veera as well as Hamisha. Now I'm going to put this to ChatGPT. And ask, would you prepare? Yes. Okay, so, but you have to check indeed, right? Sometimes ChatGPT does very stupid things. So we have to always get it checked. Always get it checked. Okay. It gave me an Excel file. Let's see how it has prepared. Ah, it's very nice. So it has, the names are not. That's the problem. It's not nice. You have to have the names also. So therefore, always ask for the names and check the output. You can say, I do not see the names. Can you also please? See names. Can you please? So then it will include the names also. Okay, with names. But always get it checked, right? Don't rely on ChatGPT because there's a disclaimer as well that AI might not summarize out that names are given. So groups group. That's nice. So I almost now got the names as well as the numbers. This groups group. And then this group number 6. This group number 8. Then here 18A EX group is there. Group number 7. And then the think tank group is there. Group number 2. Then group number 7, I think was a mistake. Well, let's keep that and see what was the mistake. Okay. And then what you can do is you can check for any duplicates. Okay, duplicates. I check in double columnar formatting, duplicates are there. Duplicate values. Of course, these could be duplicates indeed, but because D silver, there could be 2 D silvers, of course, there's no problem. But number wise also there. I mean, make a group number 7 duplicate. I think Ahmed is the person who tried to. So these take. So it's fine. Delete. There are no duplicates. Good. So just for confirmation, these 4, based on the order I have taken it for submission. Group, let's call this group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, 6, group 7, group 8, group 9. There's one more group, I think, who has not submitted, isn't it? So my group number, I'll say my group number because I need to have my number. Okay, let's say number 1. Oops. It's number 2. Number 3. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. It's number 5. Then number 6. Number 7. And number 9. And I can ask program to fill these things. So it's called, I don't know what it is, ASAP release, that's good. Numbers. So there's The function is fill, yeah, fill there. This function is there. So ASAP, it's a free program, ASAP utilities, but again, now you have to download that. That's the problem in ASAP utilities. So it would have automatically filled the information. So it says to upgrade. It's free though. It's free. So upgrade to the new version. In fact, what you need to download is not, the you have to download the home version, because if not, it's expensive. So home for student version, then download. There are 300 functions that usually Excel cannot do, and it's completely free. Home version is completely free, and you can use that. So you have to close Excel first of all to use this. The only problem is that, of course, it's good that it's like you can have the updated version. That's correct. But again, the thing is, you have to keep it updated. You have to close Excel, and you have to do different things. So please install ASAP utilities. It's free. The home version, as I did, right? ASAP utilities. You can have more than 300 Excel functions that are not available usually in Excel, like what I did. Now I'll show you what it does as a demonstration. Digital business strategy. So these are also important strategies. So I'm going to update with the latest version, which is free of charge again. But download the home and student edition. Home and student edition. Home projects, of course, non-commercial use. I'm not going to use that and accept. That's it. And now see the magic. Right? You can do a lot of things. So I'll again open that. You have to install that only once and update it only once till the next update is there. So I'm updating this after a long time. That's all. Okay, now what I do is, now I want to fill these numbers. I'm lazy to just, type code. So I'll go to ASAP utilities. It's there. So you go to fill, and you can see how many functions are there, and copy values. To see what it does. It will fill all this. Yeah, see, it filled within seconds. So that's the best thing in ASAP utilities we are not using. And then there are several other functions. Consolidation, you can create, consolidate different sheets, different workbooks, and completely free of charge. Text functions are there, formatting functions are there, that are not usually available in Excel. So it's called ASAP utilities. That's fine. Right. Okay. Never mind about that. So this is your group list. Thank you for the students who filled it. Right. So group number 1 who will be presenting is groups group. Group number 2 will be in fact group number 6. Then group number 3 will be in fact group number super 8. Then number 4 will be group number 3 in fact. Group number 7 will be in fact the group number 5. Group number 5 will be group number 7. So likewise, this is the order that I'm going to take presentations. Anyone from groups group, you can check whether all your members are there, right? Group number 6, Sevan this group. Group number 8, Nishan's group. On that day also I'll be displaying, don't worry. So I have given the information. I don't think ChatGPT has made a mistake. But the mistake is not with ChatGPT, but with my good students. Some students have not yet given the information. Other than okay. So that one I will have to do manually because you did not give that on time, but never mind. Let's put it here. Okay. And transpose it. No. Sorry. So let's go to ChatGPT and ask it self. This will be group number 10. Okay, this is with the new information. So that will be the 10th group. Okay, this is that group. Oscar's group. No, in fact, Nanakara 59. Make him a repeat trailer. So this Nanakar is seems the same person. I'm going to remove that person because Nanakar is already there. And then Salman. Sorry, not Salman. Samlan. Samlan is in 2 groups. What's the other group? Samlan is also in group number 6. In fact, where is he? So Askar, Nanakar, Jasur, Hamad, Samarako. Is Samlan in your group or in group number 6?
Sorry, sir. Samlan is group number 6, and I have 3 people more to add. I added
Right.
in the Google Sheet, sir.
No,
Four,
you are,
but
you are not added now, because that's what has happened. Here I have taken all. You have, yeah, taken everything, right, you are correct. Taken it from somewhere else. That's what I have started. Very good that I spoke with. Yeah, there was an error. Right, let me know. That's why I always visually take confirmation. I think you're right. Even on the day of the presentation, I'm going to show you this. So I'm going to, and I'm going to confirm that if not with these are the lives of students. Behind every name and number, there's a life. And I have to be very careful. And I'm the person who is teaching data analytics, so I have to be extra careful. Okay. Right. So let me now take the corrected group. Right up. Yeah, it's now correct. Is the correct one. You are correct. So let me now remove all this and put. Okay, but I think there was an error, no? That this Nanakara was repeated, so I'm going to remove the repetition. Then Putha, this Samlan, is he of your group or group number 6?
He is a sixth group, sir.
So shall I remove this?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Okay, okay, no problem, no problem. So I will make this group number 3. No point going to ASAP utilities. Fail without fun. Okay, so this is the group. So let me put this now into my master sheet, which I'll be again displaying this to you when you're presenting. So thank you for the giving me this information. Really appreciated. So let me now take the master CA list. It's the master CA list. So let me add this to the group report. Group report and presentation. Okay. So now what I do is I put that information. Okay. Let's copy it. Post down. Okay. That's good. So I'll be taking the group presentation in this order. I hope all students are there. We have almost how many students? My board. Very good. We have almost 87 students or 86 students. Good. You're a large batch. For 86 students. So please make sure that all the members are there that day. On the day of presentation also I'll be confirming. Right, but just for your information, I'm just displaying this as well. So in case if you are not there, please let me know. Okay. So group number 1, according to my records, these are the group number 1 members. Just check whether your information is there. In group number 2, these are the group number 2 people. Group number 3, these are group number 3 people. Group number 4, it's quite large. Group number 4 people. Group number 5, these are group number 5 people. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Please let me know if something is not correct. Right? Okay, thank you. So in fact, now this is recorded on this lecture, so you can again go through the recording and see whether it's in order. Right. Okay, we completed that task also. Thank you for your help. Right. Now what we shall do is we shall go to the next part of today's lecture. That's looking at chapter 5. That day also I give a brief introduction, but let's go to chapter 5 because it will be directly important for you, as I told you that day, for your group presentation and group info, particular group work, right? So here, even that day I gave you a small brief introduction, but let me today formally cover this lecture. So I'm going to teach you here, right? I'm going to teach you about digital business strategy. This is about digital business strategy. So we'll go through that carefully. So these are the things we are going to discuss under this chapter. We are going to discuss a framework called the ESP framework. The ESP framework particularly. Before we come to the ESP framework, we'll talk about the amazing story of Amazon. Now I'll be giving you a small task, right? Tell me why Amazon is unique. I told you when you talk about a business model, there are 9 elements, isn't it? What's the most important element in that business model? What's the most important element? Can you tell me? In the business canvas model, BMC. Anyone? What's the most important element? The value proposition, isn't it? The unique value proposition. Why the business is unique? Now, can you tell me, even you can ask ChatGPT, what is unique in Amazon? Can you tell me that? Please take 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. Why Amazon is unique? Can someone tell me? So go and ask your beloved friend. So give the prompt properly. If not, it will give some nonsense. So give the exact proper, like you can ask, what is the unique value proposition of Amazon.com. Ask them. Here. To offer customers with widest selection of goods at the lowest possible price with maximum convenience. Right. So then it has broken down Amazon's UVP, unique value proposition. Unmet selection. Millions of products are there. And integration of third-party sellers are also there, but they need to get Amazon stringent quality control. In competitive pricing, they give as lowest as possible. Exceptional convenience, one-click ordering is there. In customer-centric approach, always the customer is given not the seller, not their third-party sellers as well. The customer is given the prominence. And yes, this is one of the greatest unique value proposition, although it's listed as number 5. It's, I would say, even number 1, technological innovation. So AI-powered suggestions, and also they use logistics. You'll see now, I'll show you an example. They use logistics using innovation, innovative technologies, not that much innovative, but again, then ecosystem integration. Of course, they have Amazon ecosystem, shopping, streaming, Prime videos, reading, Kindle, smart devices, Echo, which did not work well, but again, cloud computing, AWS. Likewise, they have an ecosystem that works together as well. So this is the unique value proposition of Amazon. And let me now show you a small video, which is called Amazon Air Prime. Amazon Prime Air. In America, once you order, it will take, and if you have to pay a little bit of a premium, and if you order using this particular, by paying this small premium, Amazon Prime Air, the item will be delivered within an hour. Right? Within an hour, it will be delivered. How is made possible? Let's see. So let's go to this video. So let's go to YouTube. And see how this works. How within 1 hour, amazing. They have shifted the video. Amazon Prime. Amazing. He made the order. And it got delivered. 30 minutes delivered. So how it's made possible?
Stop using ChatGPT like everyone else and do this instead. To the men over 50 who don't.
Okay. So that's about ChatGPT. I don't think it's required for us. Right. So you can see how Amazon, right, even within 30 minutes, the order is delivered by using what? Drones. They use drone technology. One of the first companies to use drone technology to deliver items. You see what kind of innovation, right, they have ventured into. And on Amazon, if you put a job application, it will be screened by an AI HR assistant, right? So likewise, Amazon is an amazing company, right, by Jeff Bezos, who had invested billions in technology. So that's how they could do it. Okay, so we already discussed in chapter number 1 about strategy. What's a strategy? A strategy is a way that you try to achieve things, achieve your goals. Now, why are you doing this degree? This is also part of your strategy. Your goal is to be a high profile professional, an academic professional, a high profile academic professional. So that's why you are doing this degree. So this is part of your strategy. So likewise, a strategy is what you do to achieve your goals. And we did have a lengthy discussion of what are the characteristics of a strategy. And then today I would like to again re-emphasize the ESP framework. Re-emphasize the ESP framework. ESP stands for Environment, Strategy, and Performance Analysis. Right? So it's also given in this picture. ESP, Environment, Strategy, and Performance. Of course, all starts with an environmental analysis. That's why in your first part of your assignment, I have asked you to do what? Do an environmental analysis. Because without performing an environmental analysis, can you come up with strategies? No, you can't. You have to look at your immediate environment as well as the macro environment. So now, for example, if you are trying to be a high-profile academic professional and impart value, contribute to the society with your value, then you can receive value. So if that's what you intend, then Puta, you cannot just do that without looking at the environment. You have to see what are the environmental changes, what are taking place, what are the trends, what are the web trends, and equip yourself. If not, you will be outdated and no one will record you. So that's why at SAB, we try to give you the best. Right? So that's the environmental. Then S is the strategy. So Michael Porter indicates that there are two strategies. What are the two strategies that Porter says? Right. Now, in your assignment, you need to highlight this. He explains that there are two kinds of strategies. One is what? Cost leadership. What's the other one?
Value chain analysis.
Differentiation. Thank you, Buddha. Thank you very much for answering. Right. I really appreciate that. It's differentiation. One is cost leadership, the other one is differentiation. But today, if you want to survive in this very competitive market, what ideally should be your strategy? Is it cost leadership or differentiation? Now let's take a Sri Lankan company. Can a Sri Lankan company survive with cost leadership? Can we compete with cost? Cost means you produce at a very low cost and then you try to sell at a low price than your competitors. Can we compete with Chinese products? You can't. They produce in mass scale, billions of items they produce. So you cannot compete with them. So therefore, the best strategy, I think, that an organization as well as you as students should pursue is differentiation. So if you want to survive in this market as a professional, graduate professional, differentiate yourself. That's the only way. Differentiate yourself. How can you differentiate? I have always told that there are 4 ways that you can differentiate yourself. Number 1, have cutting-edge knowledge. Have the knowledge that others don't have. Yes, in this degree, we give that part of that knowledge. But on the other hand, have a self-drive also to find out knowledge. Even at this moment, I'm studying different things. From Coursera, Udemy, I'm taking courses, online courses. So that's one area, knowledge. Then how to differentiate next? Skills. Get the best training possible. Don't go here and there for internship. Go to the best possible places to get the internship. If you are in the audit firms, go to the top 3 in Srilanka. Go to the mid-tier companies and get the best training. Get the best. Right? Then that's skills. So you have cutting edge skills. Number 3, the mindset. Have a growth mindset. Don't have a limited, constant mindset that says that you have a constant set of skills. No, have a growth mindset. And then finally, the attitude. Always have a can-do attitude rather than a lazy, right? An attitude that always finds faults with others and think how not to do things rather than doing things. Okay. So that's should be your strategy, differentiation. Then P stands for in the ESP framework, performance metrics. Measure your progress. Measure your progress daily, weekly, monthly, annually. Measure your progress. That's the only way, Puta, that you can achieve your targets. If you don't measure you might have good strategies, you might have best intentions, but if you don't measure your progress, that's a problem. Don't measure your progress only based on outcome-based measures. Now, some students may be measuring their progress by looking at only the grades. No, rather, that's an outcome, isn't it? You have to measure your process-based, right? Process-based measures. What's process-based measures? Not only outcome-based measures, process-based measures. Process-based measures means, okay, to achieve that target, we have to do certain things. Then measure those things. For example, what? If you are targeting a good grade, then what you need to do? Each day, you have to study a certain amount of time. Then measure that. That's a process-based measure. Okay, just target 1 hour per day. 1 hour per day to study and see whether you achieve that. So that's a process-based measure. And each week, check whether you have spent at least 7 hours for studies. Not in the classroom, but additionally revising and reviving the knowledge that you got. So that's a process-based measure. So likewise, you should have measurements, matrices in place to measure your progress. Daily, weekly, right? Quarterly, monthly, quarterly, and annually. Unless otherwise, you'll be having good hopes, great intentions, right? But never succeed. Because you have to measure your progress. So this is the ESP frame. So strategy is how you achieve goals, right? And we discussed several characteristics. In fact, I could remember I elaborated in chapter number 1, 5 characteristics of what, right? What means strategy. So please remind yourself. So here we are discussing about e-business strategy. We discussed about also business models like the BMC, business model canvas, which had 9 elements those days. We discussed all these things. Right. Then now let's come into this particular model. Right. Okay. I think high time to take a break also, no? But a break, we shall take a 15-minute break and we shall discuss this levels of commitment of an e-business. You will understand there are 4 levels. There are 4 levels. Then I ask what SAB, where you can place SAB as well. So we discuss this point and we shall proceed. Okay, the level of commitment of e-business. Okay, shall we take a small break then? 50 minutes and meet at 4 p.m. Okay, please come at 4. Students, welcome back. Can you hear me? Students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Buddha. Thank you. Right, good. So, Buddha, now let's look at this, the 4 levels of commitment that a business could have in terms of e-business, right? You can see on the top, you have pure play businesses. That means it's purely online e-business. Examples are Amazon.com, Google, right.com. So these are some examples for pure play businesses. They are completely online. Then there are certain businesses at enterprise level. That's the second level, you can see. Enterprise level. Enterprise level is where you have both the physical version as well as the online version of the business. I could think of a good example, Keel Super. Now, Keel supermarkets, there are physical supermarkets, of course, of Keels, as well as there's an online store. So it could be taken as enterprise level. Then we have the third level, which is business process, where some entire processes are automated. Like for an example, an ERP system, or even an accounting system, or an ERM system, or a CRM system, customer relationship management system. So certain processes, business processes, are automated. And you use software for them. Then the lowest level is activity level. In activity level, you might send an email to your customers. That's an activity level commitment. So these are the 4 levels of commitment that a business would have in terms of an e-business strategy. Pure play to activity level. Now I question to you, if you take SAP campus, right? At what level of commitment is there? SAP එකත් මොන level එකද තියෙන්නේ?
Enterprise.
Okay. A student is at enterprise level. Yes, I would say it's in between business process and enterprise level. In between. Enterprise level, Buddha, you should have a complete virtual now. Even today, now see, even today the lecture is conducted online. And students are joining online indeed. So it could be taken in between business process and enterprise. Now, business processes, now the LMS is completely online. We give all our materials, do our testing, like some kind of quizzes and everything we do online. We have the LMS. So likewise, I would say SAP is in between enterprise and business process level. Very good. Right? So that's the level of commitment. And these are some examples for this. Pure play like Amazon.com, 100% online. Then comes the P. P is about the performance matrices. So as I told you, a strategy would fail if you don't measure the performance. You might have nice objectives, you might have nice strategies, but if you don't measure your progress, it won't work. So at least open a Google Sheet and track your progress and track your important matrices. Right? If you're earning money, then track your earnings and track your spendings, at least to a certain extent. Then you'll be able to balance it properly. Track your number of hours that you study. Track the number of hours you exercise per day or per week at least. Track your spiritual activities. Then you will understand where you are. So in fact, there's a nice way, holistic way now. If you're going to only track only one aspect of your life, or if a business is going to look at only the financial aspect of the business, It's a sure way to fail. Can you drive a motor vehicle? Can you drive a car by looking at the speedometer only? Speedometer විතරක් බලලා පුළුවන් ද කාර් එකක් කියලා? You can't, right? That's only one indicator, speed. But of course, you have to, if that's the case, then you won't be able to drive a bit far, right? There would be trouble. Likewise, there's a nice performance measurement tool that will measure 4 aspects of a business. Can someone tell me what's that measurement tool? A nice measurement tool is there that had been taught to you in management accounting. It's not only based on financial measures like ROE and ROA. This measure is capturing 4 perspectives. What's that is known as? What is known as? Very good. Very good. Excellent. So that's what I'm saying, to come up with a balanced scorecard measurement approach for your e-business. So as you very correctly told, there are 4 perspectives. What are the 4 perspectives? So these are the 4 perspectives, right? The financial perspective, internal business process perspective, those are called the internal perspective. Then learning and growth perspective as well as customer perspective. In an e-business, please track these. Customer perspective, how can you track the customer perspective? Now, for an example, if you buy something in Daras, right, after 2 or 3 days, what you get? Of course, you will be getting the item, and after that, what you get? They will send you a call. They will ask you an opinion, perspective of how they did. So that's their checking your customer loyalty, customer satisfaction. So in e-business, it's very easy to, because it's done on e-basis. So therefore, you can see, look at the loyalty and satisfaction measures. So percentage of visitors who return to the site, return customers, time between visits, right? Then also shopping cart abandonment. Some people might have abandoned, so they are not satisfied. It might be the case. So likewise, these are some matrices that you can use. Then customer engagement could all include the number of comments, particularly positive ones, photos and videos posted and shared. So these are customer perspective measures that you can incorporate into an e-business. Then comes internal perspective. Internal perspective is what? These are the internal processes, how well your processes are there. Right? The sales process, purchase process, these are the processes. How well they are working. Now, what kind of, for an e-business, what kind of internal, right, internal perspective-based measures could be introduced? These are some examples. Number of customers who use the service. So if they are a lot, that means your processes are good. Number of complaints in the social media. If you have a lot of complaints, that means your internal perspectives are not good. Internal processes are not good because the customers are unhappy about it. Amount of time to answer a customer email, right? Kapruka still did not answer my email. Number of website updates per day. So if you have a lot of website updates, that means your internal processes are working fine. Right? So those are internal perspective. Then the learning and growth perspective. Number of new products and features. If you are an app, how many features that you add? Number of customer complaints and fixes that also show that you are growing. Right? And then conversions from online leads. Conversion means how many customers, in fact, purchase the product. Conversion rates. So that the learning and growth perspective. And finally, indeed, the financial perspective is there. Here you are looking at sales growth and market share, return on capital investment, ROCE, average order value, individual customer profit. You can calculate. These are financial measures that an e-business could use. Now apply ESP framework for your group assignment and come up with a balanced scorecard approach, right, in coming up matrices. So I have given more right now. For an example, social media performance matrices. You could see unique visitors to your Facebook page. How many page views were there? Number of search, then search engine ranking, number of followers, registration, subscribers, number of shares also you could take. How many times they shared your information, posts, videos, photos. Those are social media engagement matrices. Then engagement matrices, how much your customers engage with your content. So content viewership, how many views are there? Likes, members, followers, number of shares, content creation. Particularly in YouTube, you can see the number of content created per day. That's a huge number. That shows the customers, the visitors are engaging. Okay. So likewise, I just elaborated the ESP framework. ESP framework stands for what? Looking at the environment, strategy, and performance matrices. Now, if you are really serious about your life, and if you want to be ultra successful in your life, right, this framework itself will be helpful. E, look at your current environment and as well as predict what will happen in the future environments, of course. And S, have a good strategy. Just doing this degree is an excellent move that you made, an excellent strategic move. But that's, I would say that you have to expand more in terms of your internship, as well as a self-drive to expand yourself. Then P, measuring your performance. I don't see that much of students measuring their performance. I don't see students maintaining a journal. It's not the purchase journal or sales journal. It's not the general journal. I'm talking about a journal for yourself. Whether you are writing some important things in your life, that's a journal. So just jot down, open an Google Sheet or Google maybe Doc, and just jot down something's happened during the day, what you are proud of, what are the achievements, particularly what are you having a gratitude for, and what kind of things that you learned during the day. Keep a small note. That itself will help you to show you where you are and where you need to be. So that's where we are measuring progress. Performance matrices are really important. Track your progress. Track your progress. Just remember the environment that you are operating, right, is getting day by day competitive. There are thousands of graduates that are produced in the local, and millions of graduates produced in the international context. Then always there will be a huge competition in the job market. Right? The only way out is differentiate yourself. You have to adopt certain systems that will differentiate yourself from others. Not, things would be a little bit different. So apply these. These are not only for digital business strategy subject. These could be easily applied in your life, these frameworks. These frameworks could be applied in your life. Right. Okay. So that's about the ESP framework. Then also that day I remarked about the SOSTAC framework. The SOSTAC framework is this, right? It's about 6 elements again explained, right? This is the SOSTAC framework. I hope you can see my screen. SOSTAC is an abbreviation. SOSTAC strategy framework, it stands for just same thing. You do a situation analysis. Look at the situation that you are now. Where are we now? Then objectives. So where do we want to go? That's your goal. Then you should have strategies. How do you get there? Then tactics. Strategies are long-term as well as holistic, and tactics are much narrower and short-term. And within those tactics and strategy, you have actions that you have to take action within a strategy and within a tactic, right? So who does and what and when? Tactics are basically tools. Then action are who does what and when. Exact actions. In SOSTAC framework, that's the A. Then C is control. That's where we need to measure. That's what in the ESP framework, the P. Right? To control, you need to measure. So I have applied that to an example of an eco-friendly fashion business. So to do where we are now, we have to do what? Certain kind of situation analysis. That's what you do under your main assignment. In your main assignment, you are looking at this situation analysis. I told you at least do what? A 5 forces model analysis, then a SWOT analysis, right? A value chain analysis, a TAUS analysis, which I'll tell you what's a TAUS analysis today, right? Likewise, several analyses you can, the BCG metrics, you can apply the BCG metrics that you studied in your earlier studies. Likewise, several, then the pestle analysis indeed. Why not the pestle analysis? That's a must that you should apply to see where you are. Then objectives. These are the objectives needs to be smart. Smart objectives, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Increase brand awareness by 50% within the first 6 months. See, it's very specific. Achieve monthly website traffic by 10,000 users. So these are objectives, smart objectives. Then strategy. How you are going to go there? Okay, position the brand as a premium. So the strategy is given. That's a premium strategy, differentiation strategy. I think a very good move that this business has taken. Then tactics. What are the tools that you are going to use? Here, these are the tools. Launch a visually appealing website. That's a tool. Right? It's short term as well as it's more focused. Then use Instagram, then TikTok to showcase product stories. Run a social media campaign, another tool. Then actions. So in terms of website, right? Who should develop the website? So it's the website team, and it exactly says they have to do it within 2 months. So likewise, these are the actions and who should do that action. Then finally, measure the progress by KPIs, key performance indicators, track them. So that's the SOSTAC framework applied. So I encourage you also to use these frameworks in your group assignment in analyzing the situation, analyzing and proposing a digital business strategy. Then you can explain several. Now, when it comes to tools, you can, the strategy, it's an overall strategy. Then tactics, you can tell different tactics. Indeed, SEO optimization, use CRM, automation, blockchain, etc., etc. You can explain a lot of tools, right? Tactics that a business could use as an e-business. Okay. So SOSTAC framework is that. I hope it's in the website. If not, I'll upload that particular piece of information as well. So let's go to your website. SOSTAC framework. No, I'll upload the SOSTAC framework also. So under, I gave the advantages. Yeah, under 5.1 and 5.2, So I put about source stack framework as well, the tutorial that I showed you. Okay, it did not load itself. Let's see. Now it should come. So I also included source stack framework after advantages and disadvantages of localization. So please go through that note as well and apply that in your final for your group assignment. Okay. Then finally, let's come to so I'll be teaching you what is Taos analysis now. It's not Kaus analysis, it's Taos analysis. So what's this Taos analysis? For that, let's go to the next chapter 5. There are two chapter 5s, 5.1 and 5.2. Let's go to the next one. Any questions? Is it clear? Right. So let me come here. The same thing I'm discussing about what's the strategy. So I'm not going to repeat these things. Right. Strategy. Again, how you try to achieve things. What's the strategy? And there are different levels of strategy. That's correct. And we already discussed buy side, sell side e-commerce. Right. These are things we discussed earlier. But again, let me take into Taos analysis. Now, let's try to see to do a SWOT analysis for SAP CS Srilanka. A SWOT analysis. Now, if I'm doing a strategy, let's say if I'm developing a strategy for SAP campus of CS Sri Lanka, that's where you are studying, then you have to perform a SWOT. So what's the SWOT? What are the strengths of SAP? Of course, the reputation. The main strength comes with our reputation of CS Sri Lanka. Experienced faculty, that means experienced teachers. Here we get experienced faculty members, professors, doctors, and others who are industry specialists. Comprehensive curriculum, updated curriculum, industry connections. We have the highest industry connection because of CS Sri Lanka and modern facilities. Those are the strengths. And indeed, we have certain weaknesses. The online course offerings are lower. We are limited to Sri Lanka, right? Then dependence on traditional teaching methods sometimes might be taken as weaknesses. Then opportunities, of course, growing demand for professional education, expansion of online education. These are all taking place outside, right, in the environment. Government support for education is taking place. That's very noteworthy. They have a loan scheme as well. Then partnerships and collaborations are taking place. Technological advancements are taking place. That creates great opportunity. Even ChatGPT, I would say, is a great opportunity. As a teacher, you can see, right, how far I'm using ChatGPT. Every hour, I'm using ChatGPT. For what? Forging assignments? No, not for that, but for teaching, learning, and processes. Right? I write my own code using ChatGPT, Python code and everything, and make myself very, very easy in my activities. Opportunity. Then there are threats. Of course, we have intense competition and the economy is fluctuating. Now, these days, the economy has faced a huge issue. What's that? What's the huge issue the economy has faced? Because of whom? Donald Trump. For me, Donald Trump seems a little bit crazy. Right? That man has waged unnecessary trade war with China. And now they are imposing taxes day by day on their items. And it has created a huge issue. And it has impacted a huge issue on Sri Lanka as well. So economic fluctuations, intense competition. So we have intense competition with other degree providers. Regulatory changes are taking place. Technological disruptions are taking place, as well as decreasing enrollment rate might be an issue, but not now. Now, actually, we cannot take it as a threat because even recently when we took our enrollments to SAP campus, it's increasing. So actually, I had to remove this. It's not a threat at all for SAP because it's expanding. So these are SWOT analysis. Now I'm going to teach you TAUS analysis. That's the whole idea of this one. TAUS analysis. TAUS analysis is a situation like this. Let me show you that visual. Here what you are doing is, you are going to put your strengths and weaknesses on the top and opportunities and threats on this side, and you are going to match them. And you are going to take the first slot over here, right? Strengths and opportunities. You are going to use your strengths to get the opportunities. You are going to use your opportunities to address any weaknesses, right? Then you are going to use your strengths to address threats, and you are going to overcome your weaknesses and threats. So this is the TAUS analysis, right? SWOT analysis, TAUS analysis. So what you have done is you have now taken. So likewise, you can see the first strategy is what we call SO strategy. SO strategy is where you are now here. SO strategy. You are using your strengths for your opportunities. Like what? For that, what's an SO strategy? This is called maxi-maxi strategy. You are going to maximize your strengths and maximize your opportunities. How? What you are going to do is leverage accreditation and industry connection to grow demand. Of course, your main strength is, our main strength is CS Srilanka. So we can gain opportunities out of that. Isn't it? Expand online course offering with experienced faculty. Right? Then we can cater the online demand as well. Even at the moment, some students are joining in this class from outside of the country. We can give more opportunities and more engagement. So that's called SO strategy, maxi-maxi strategy. Then WO strategy, minimax, minimize the weaknesses and maximize the opportunities. How? Enhance online learning to overcome geographical constraints. Yes, we have weakness in the sense that we are mainly concentrated in Sri Lankan context. Now, by online opportunity, we can expand. Adopt flexible teaching methods to attract more students. Streamline administrative process with technological advancements. So we'll be very soon getting a website as well. We looked at the last stages of the website. SAP will be getting a separate, nice, clean website, which I was fighting for last 2-3 years. But now, finally, the Board of Study Chairman, Mr. Tishan Subasinghe, who is the Vice President as well, right, took a keen interest on this aspect. And in every board of study meeting, I was questioning, I was asking. And in fact, he took the reins very recently, in the sense recently. And he took very, noble efforts. But he was very serious. And finally, now we'll be getting our website soon. WO strategy. Then ST strategy. Right? Strengths to address threats. Use our reputation, CA brand. We are co-branded with CA Sri Lanka. Use reputation and comprehensive curriculum to stay competitive. That is the competition. But in fact, no one can compete with, SAP because SAP is offered by CA Sri Lanka. the national premium accounting body. Leverage industry connections to mitigate economic fluctuations. We can have the industry connections to find placements for good students, although the economy is fluctuating. Utilize modern facilities to adapt to technological changes. So these maxi-mini strategy, you can maximize your strengths to minimize your threats. Then WT strategy, mini strategy, that you are minimizing weaknesses and threats. So adjust tuition and other scholarships, offer scholarships to address economic challenges. Students are facing economic challenges. And indeed, the course fee you will see is quite reasonable compared to some other private universities. Then differentiate through unique offerings to combat competition. So we give a very competitive, unique degrees. Increase flexibility in administrative processes to adapt regulatory changes. So these are, we are minimizing weaknesses and threats. So this is called the TAUS analysis. And yes, in your individual report, market situation analysis, try to perform a TAUS analysis as well. Okay. So this is one of the things I wanted to highlight here. Now let's come into another concept that I would like you to use ChatGPT to understand what's this competition. Can you use ChatGPT to understand what's competition? What's competition? මොකද පුතා competition කියන්නේ? What's පුතා competition? Use our beloved ChatGPT to understand what's competition and tell it to explain it with an example. Take 2-3 minutes and tell me. So when you give ChatGPT, explain competition with an example. Now this is the newest concept. People don't compete. What they do is they compete. What's that? Competition, new concept, and it's a remarkable concept. Yeah, you don't go for a zero-sum game, and you don't drive for death. This competition sometimes leads to disasters. You compete with each other, some businesses like Pepsi and Coke. Those days now, they have come into some kind of a conclusion. But those days it was kind of killing each other. So what's competition? What's competition, Pudha? Competition is what? You collaborate and compete. You collaborate and compete. How come that? Right. How can you compete by collaboration? Yes. Now say for an example, telecommunication industry. Now we have 5G. Now we have come with 5G. Now let's say we need to come with 6G. Right. But can a single company come up with 6G? You can't. So what the technological companies could do is they could collaborate. Competitors could collaborate and together they could develop a 6G technology and then in collaboration and then they could compete. Isn't it? So that's competition. Now how SAP could compete? Because we have private universities in Sri Lanka. Like what? SLIT is there, NSBM is there, and IBM is there. Right? Likewise, we have other private universities. So what we could do is we could all get together. All the private universities could get together and demand the government to relax unnecessary policies, unnecessary restrictions. We can demand as a group, right? Better facilities from the government, etc., etc. Likewise, it's competition. You compete while you collaborate. That's called competition, right? So joint standard setting for technology is a very good example. Now, those days it was 3G, but now we have 5G and 6G, we can collaborate. So things like that are competition. So that's a very advanced way to compete with each other while collaborating. It's not like killing each other. It's like working together and being unique. So if you are unique, there is in fact no direct competition. And yes, I also would like you to, not today indeed, to discuss 5.2, case study 5.2. It's related to Sandvik's steel case study. Right. So I encourage you to, will be someday, if you are physically meeting, we'll be doing this. Therefore, get ready with this. Right. Sandvik steel case study. It's a really interesting case study. Sometimes it's also being tested at the exams as well. Right. Okay. So Sandvik case study, Sandvik steel case study is a remarkable case study that was tested at certain exams as well. Okay. But no point discussing that like this because I would like to discuss as a group where we meet physically so we can discuss them later. Okay. Is it clear? Right. So today we discuss several topics that are of importance. We completely discuss about localization, then employees, right, being tracked or being monitored by their employers. What are the advantages, disadvantages? Then localization. What are the advantages and disadvantages? Target questions for the exam. Then we came into strategy making, right? We came into strategy making, digital business strategy, where we discussed about the ESP framework, right? Environment, strategy, and performance measurement framework. And also I taught you about SOSTAC framework, right? SOSTAC framework. Then I came into, but after the SOSTAC framework, we came into what? Under this topic, I also elaborated the Tauss analysis. Right? Is it clear? Any questions? Questions, concerns? Now you have to apply these things in your individual assignment and in your group assignment. So now let me remind you what you have to do in those. Right? How's the situation? I have finished your individual assignment. So again, as I told you, I'm going to check whether the assigned companies are done by certain students in each student, because unfortunately I see that sometimes it's not the case. Right? Some students take it from other people and they put it as that they had done. So that's not a good practice. So therefore check what's the company that you are being allocated. And I have given the assignment guidelines as well. Individual assignment submission, individual and group assignment guidelines. So let me take you through that. So please make sure, and within a group, again, I'm going to emphasize, right? You have to take an assignment that was, right, assigned to one of the members of your group, Okay, don't take anything else. So if I again download the assignment guidelines, I'm going to remind you, because this, as you told, individual assignment is due when? 25th midnight. In the group one, the report is due when? 2nd. And on 3rd, you'll be doing the presentation. So let me show you, let me remind you, which I have done you already. Let me remind you the assignment guidelines. So this is about the individual assignment. Select a Sri Lankan company of your choice. Now, of course, I have given you a Sri Lankan company. You don't need to choose. I have given you that. And then do the SWOT analysis, PESTEL analysis, Porter's five forces, Porter's value chain analysis, and also now Tauss analysis. And any other relevant business analysis. Tauss analysis, BSCs, Ansels metrics. Likewise, there are different other kind of models that you can use. Higher the better. Then what you need to do is a report summarizing the findings of the market situation analysis of that allocated company to you. Submission deadline is given. When is the deadline? What the deadline?
25th.
25th. So if you have not done that already, please put up now itself. Right? Today, even if you start, that's enough. Take the company annual report, study the company very well, and try to apply. Some students use ChatGPT. It's okay to use ChatGPT, but right, they have used only ChatGPT. They have not even read the annual report, not done the research. They are only dependent on ChatGPT. So it's apparent because we also know how to use these tools. No, you also know how I'm using ChatGPT for productive purposes. So we could understand. So you could be inspired, you could get, but you have to go in depth of the company, the annual reports, the websites, and try to understand that company first of all, and try to give specific examples. Some people just give some generic stuff given by ChatGPT. We could very well understand it's based on ChatGPT, and no any single effort has been taken. So I don't think it's a good idea, right? Give specific examples and apply these models into your business by understanding the business very well. Okay. So that's the individual assignment. So under the group assignment, what you need to do is select one company from the individual assignments within the group. So one thing I saw in some other batches was some students had selected the company that was not allocated to them. So seems they have borrowed it from someone, some earlier batch, and they were presenting it. So I drastically reduced marks because you have to do the company that's allocated to you for individual assignment. And then for the group one, you have to take one company that was allocated to your group and do the group assignment. So that also I checked and I understood there was a batch who took whatever the companies. Sometimes even they had gone into extent, they were not even Sri Lankan companies. So Uber was taken. Uber is not a Sri Lankan company. And it was not at all allocated to any group. So they had taken that on their discretion and they lost a lot of marks. So select one company that was allocated to the company, to your group, right? Take one member's company out of that. Then what you have to do is, of course, provide what? A comprehensive digital business strategy. Applying ESP framework, SOSTEC framework, etc. The digital business, the strategy should include digital marketing approaches, e-commerce and online business expansion strategies, technological adoption and innovation approaches, customer engagement approaches, right? Like this. A detailed report, and of course, after that, there will be a presentation. So the marking criteria is also given. Individual report 10%, group report 10%, then group presentation 20%. Submission guidelines are also given. Not too long, not too short. Reference style APA or whatever the style that is being sanctioned by to you. Then deadline, the LMS. When is the group report submission? With the group report assignment submission. 2nd May, midnight. And 3rd May, which is a nice Saturday evening. Right, a beautiful Saturday evening, we'll be doing what? We'll be taking your presentations. So get it. And if a member doesn't come on that day, there's a last day that you are having lectures. That means no marks. Therefore, Buddha, make sure that you come for the lectures. Okay. Okay. So any questions that the students have? And of course, this Tuesday also we have put an additional lecture because we could not do certain lectures. So an additional lecture is scheduled and there was a long delay because we have several other chapters to complete. But now we are on track and we can spend our time productively. So this Tuesday also we have got a lecture, right, in the evening, right? You are aware of that, huh? Tuesday lecture Tuesday from 7:30 to 10:30, right? Students, are you with me?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, good. Yes, good, good. Right. Okay, I think that's enough for today, isn't it? So we'll proceed with our discussion. Now chapter number 5 is finished. We'll go to chapter number 6. Then chapter number 8, case study discussions will be going. Right. So thank you very much, students, and your active participation is highly appreciated. So wish you all the best and see you on Tuesday evening. We'll discuss another important topic on digital business strategy on this Tuesday. Thank you. And today then we shall end the lecture. Thank you, Pudha. And
Thank
good
you,
night.
sir.
Thank you, Pudha. Good night, everyone.